It's the Midge-le of the month! Hi, I'm Shailyn and welcome to the first Midge-le of the month. This suit is inspired by the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, specifically the suit that she's wearing when she's walking with her best friend and her kids. Let's get right into it. If you look at Mrs. Maisel's suit jacket, you'll notice the lines on the jacket are princess seams, not darts. So the first thing I did was to take a bodice piece that I previously fitted to myself and turn the darts into princess seams. This is basically done by cutting the darts out of the bodice pieces and using a French curve to smooth out the edges. I did this for both the front and back bodice pieces. I chose a maroon for the main fabric and a gold satin for the lining and cut out all the pieces. Once all the pieces are cut out, including a basic pencil skirt, I sewed both the main dress and the lining together. Before attaching the lining to the main dress, I basted an invisible zipper onto the dress. After sewing the lining to the dress, I realized that I forgot to leave the shoulders open to flip the dress through. So I had to take apart the shoulders, flip the dress right side out, and then hand stitch the shoulder seams together. If you prefer a pattern, Simplicity 8460 is similar and comes with a dress and crop jacket set. The biggest changes you'd need to make is to add the scalloped edges at the bottoms of the jacket seams and create a Peter Pan collar. So once I finished the dress, I used the same pattern from the dress for the jacket. What I'm doing here is adding the scallop detail to the bottom of the seams of each bodice piece. I just used a roll of tape for that, but you can use anything that has a rounded edge. For the back piece, I also remembered to take away the seam allowance at the center back since the jacket will not have a back zipper. And say hello to my new kitten, Dottie. Okay, back to the jacket. The front of the jacket has buttons, so what I'm doing here is marking the center front and adding enough space for buttons and buttonholes. I used 1-inch buttons I had to make sure I had enough space for the buttonholes and the seam allowance. I also changed the neckline a little bit so it would completely cover the dress while having almost a V-neck overlap like in the show. Finally, I needed to make the Peter Pan collar for the jacket. The easiest way to make a Peter Pan collar is to trace the neckline exactly, then add the width of the collar and seam allowance. As you can see, Dottie is completely intrigued by this whole process. We're just gonna knead right on top of that jacket.
Yeah, but you love it.
I do love it. Hi, Dottie. You're lucky this is for me. Okay, go on, Dottie dots. Dot dot. Dot dot. Come on. Get your ball. Right, back to the sewing. The process for sewing the jacket is the same as the dress. Sew the jacket, sew the lining, flip, then hand stitch the sleeves together. The collar is the last thing I sew on before finally doing the buttonholes and buttons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how I made the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel's two-piece suit with the scalloped edge. Next month I will be doing another Midge-le of the month with a two-piece set again, but this time it's going to be a jacket and a dress set, inspired by a couple of the jackets and dresses that she wears throughout the whole first and second season. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another Marvelous Mrs. Maisel inspired make.